Do you know how much I missed you all this time? I wish I could say it was just a little, if only because it hurt so much to be away. I got so jealous having to work, missing you, being away from you, especially in these times. I just wanted more of you. I wanted you to be able to enjoy the time you have with me. I wanted us to be able to enjoy each other. And I realized very quickly I had to do a lot of things to get to that point. It's just not easy anymore. Things get so complicated. I want them to be simple, and I know it's gonna take a lot for that to happen. You know what? More than any of this, I want you to realize I'll never truly leave you. I couldn't even if I wanted to, because I love you, little mouse. Because I've always loved you from day one. Because I've always wanted more of you. I've always wanted to make you feel special. For everything we've been through, for all the scars we've had, there's been a lot of nice things that I wouldn't trade for anything. Lots of nice memories that we've made together. I know I might be talking like I'm going someplace far away, but I'm not. I guess it's just my paranoia. My worry that somehow something will get between us. I do have those worries sometimes. I just don't know how to say it some other times. I love you, my beautiful little mouse. You make me feel so happy on days when I thought I couldn't handle it. You help me get through the pain together. You inspire me, and you also know how to make my heart flutter with excitement when I didn't know it could. When I thought everything in this world was shit, you saved me from that outlook. You took my head out of that nasty place, and you helped me to realize that everyone's human again. You know how amazing that is. You know what it would have taken for anyone else. You don't realize how amazing you are, do you? Then follow me and find out. You see this, everyone around you, in the underground like this. Yeah, each and every one of them. They gave up their previous lives. Ones that were stolen away from them. Ones that were robbed. And maybe another hero, another person wouldn't have seen them the way you did. You saw them for the people that they are, not the mistakes that they've made. You realize that even a scoundrel and an orphan are the same down here as they're working together to make something of themselves for the first fucking time. They're trying to make their lives better, and you made their lives a lot better by saving them. You could have just as easily destroyed it all. You could have taken me, and then they'd have no one to protect them. You see, it's all just one big continuum. Ever since epidemic attacked us, ever since I almost... Ironically, that old bastard, he managed to help me, and I don't know why he did. At first, I thought he was trying to kill me, and then he helped me. I've never been able to face that fact. He just smiled. He smiled at me after he kicked my ass. What kind of bullshit roundabout thing is that? How am I supposed to view it? Am I supposed to just accept the fact that he beat my ass and then healed me? What kind of mockery of a fight is that? You know what? It doesn't matter anymore what it is. The more important thing is that you're here, and I'm still here. And better yet, I have to face the fact that, well, I guess I'm gonna have to bother you for a lot longer. I hope you don't mind. Little mouse. I'm not going anywhere. We've been through a lot, haven't we? And now we have to go through a little bit more. They're going to go and rise against him. And frankly, they want me to help with the fighting. But I don't know whose side I should be on. Do you go with the one who kicks your ass and saves your life? Or maybe the one who always tried to do their best for you, but couldn't? It's a conundrum, and a moral one, because there isn't a right or wrong answer. The ideals are so very similar, yet so very different in this case, and I'm trying to get a feel for it. I'm trying to understand what it's gonna take, what it's gonna need in order for me to find what sits right for me, what I can do that makes sense, that makes people actually have better lives for it. I care about the underground like every single person here is my family. We are not our mistakes, our scars anymore. We've all done things we're not proud of, at least most of us. And even still, we work together, because sometimes people need a second chance. And that's all I want. That's all I've ever wanted. And I always wanted to be that hero to everybody I could. I always wanted to be that person who people could look up to as not just the monster, and you saw me as more than that. You realized pretty early on that I wasn't the monster everyone thought I was, and that by itself put you above everyone else in my book. It might be shameless to admit it, but I couldn't look at you as lesser than anyone else. You became my number one so fucking quick. Does it make me rushed? Maybe. Does it make me more passionate by the day? No. No, it makes me more obsessed. And that's what scares me, little mouse. I worry that I'm too obsessed, that I strangle the life from what you do, that I steal all your time like a vampire steals blood. But sometimes I wonder if that's exactly what you want. And that's what scares me. Because if you want it, I don't know that I'd be strong enough to not give it to you. To not always be by your side. I know what you say, and I know what you're trying to say, but are you sure that I'm good enough, that you want to spend the rest of forever with me? I guess I just had my doubts after I couldn't even protect this place. They walked in and even made a mockery of my ailments. They cured me. They kicked my ass. They hurt my pride. They did everything they could to belittle what I had worked to build up, this facade. And then I ran away. I ran away to try and fix something I never should. And that's how I ended up here. That's how I ended up in this conundrum of not knowing what I actually deserve. And I know it's not just my choice of what I deserve. You have every right to decide as well what you want. And that's what I'm trying to say is I don't want to stifle your decision making. I don't want you to just think that you're my past or my present. I want you to be my future. I do with all my heart, but I also don't want to be so selfish that I alienate you. I don't want to be so selfish that I steal you away from the world you came from and you live in this pit with me. It's like dragging an angel to hell. To me, you have those beautiful wings, and my wings have already been burned to a crisp. I realize now, there's a lot of me that I'm still trying to accept after all these years. Maybe that's what's really wrong with me. I've spent all
I spent all my time hating what I'm not, wishing to be someone else, and I realize now I can't just keep doing that every single day and waste away my life like a gripping disease. That's what was cured that day. I went and did something with myself instead of wishing. And before you say, I understand that what I was doing was helping others, but I was using it for the wrong purpose. I was using it to escape from having to face the person in the mirror, the monster I saw, the monster that I thought I'd become. And instead of facing myself and understanding that there's a lot to me, that it's never too late for anyone, I didn't give myself enough chance. Everything I am, I won't take back. But in order to accept it in reality, I know there's a lot more that I need to do. Even if at the same time there's not that much that needs to change, I still want to learn to love myself. I still want to learn what it's like to value yourself. And I realized very quickly that this love wouldn't work until I could value myself, because it wouldn't be fair to you to give you some half-hearted love, to give you a lover who can't even see himself in the mirror without seeing this monster. To tell you the truth, it's not even about accepting myself anymore, no. If anything, it's more about accepting the idea of myself. I've had trouble with it for all of my days, but now it's become something completely different. It's about loving myself, and I know everyone struggles with this. Very few people love themselves without being narcissistic, and I know that you aren't one of them. You're not one of them that loves yourself narcissistically. You've taught me a lot about love that I never thought I could learn on my own, that I never knew was important to learn. You taught me things that I never would have otherwise, because I was too into my idea of what it means to be this monster that lives for others. I repurposed myself, but I didn't accept all the layers of difficulty, all of the things that I should have. I was in my own mind trying to escape myself. I tried to escape, but it wasn't enough. Escaping yourself isn't something anyone could do. I love you, my baby, but that doesn't mean that I can't improve myself and be twice the man I've been. Especially if I show more dignity, if I make myself into something that I'm way better than I was. I don't need to change myself to do it. I need to change my perspective, my understanding. And until I do that, it's not going to be very easy. I realize it. I realized all those things that I should have in the very beginning. And yet still I'm going to try. Still I'm going to learn. And still I won't let this go until I can accept things for how they are. I'm not going to focus on anything other than realizing what I am. More than acceptance, I need purpose. I need something to focus on myself. I know I need to face this and understand that there's a lot more to life than this. And that's why I'm not going to stop, even if the whole wide world goes against us, baby. I'm not going to stop no matter who gets in our way. I've realized that, there's a lot of fucking bullshit. And I'm not the only one who escapes from their problems by focusing on others. I know you do it too sometimes, but that's maybe perfect because we both have the same fault. Maybe we can solve it together. Maybe we're not too far gone, even if the world sees us as that, and maybe for all it's worth, even if that worth is 0 to others, it can be worth so much more to us. I want this more than anything. I want you more than anything, but I also want to give you the proper husband you could love for the rest of your life, not just one who's here and there. My pilgrimage of sorts was to find myself, was to accept that I'm more than just a monster, and I should have taken you with me, but to be fair, it was only a day, but it felt like an eternity. I was just walking around, viewing the world as I might in a different circumstance, trying to gauge where I fit in it, and I realized my place is still down here. Not as a demon, but as a chaperone, someone who can make sure that the people down here have a place, that the broken and the damned don't have to stay as empty, soulless husks, that they can have a place that they deserve to live, that they should live. I know that this is ambitious, and I know it's probably something that may sound a bit crazy. But I want to make the underground as good as the above, maybe even better. I want to make it something that people want to live in. I don't just want to make it the second-rate place that people go when they have nowhere else. I want it to stay with welcoming arms. But I don't want it to be something where it's just used out of context to be someone who's worth pitying. I don't want pity, and I know that most here do not either. Anyone who does, well, that's their own problem. But we're not trying to make a place filled with pity. We're trying to make a place filled with hope. And I have a lot of it that I want to share with not only you, but the others as well. Nobody needs a reason to be happy. But if I ever had one, it'd be you. If I could only put into words what I feel right now, it would be a beautiful, bittersweet memory. I feel so many things rushing back, and after that walk that I took, I'm so sorry if I worried you. I never meant to. None of this was meant to be that way. It was meant to be an escape from my own conflicted feelings. I should have taken you with me, but part of me still thinks deep down I don't deserve you. And that's what lingering hesitation existed. I doubt myself sometimes, just like anyone else. It's never really easy because I know you will say the same thing every time, and I know I should believe it, but it's impossible for me to just accept it like that. It's impossible for me to understand that you truly love me, and it's even more impossible for me to understand that someone as faulted as me, as ruined as me, has a right to something so pure. And I'm not calling you pure anything but. Maybe you have a pure side, yes. But I think everyone, including you, has pure and impure sides. That's not what defines us. That isn't the point, in a lot of ways. What's far more the point is that we together make something pure, pure love, pure care. There's nothing to stop us from living our lives and making something of ourselves. I've had to realize that. I realized it too slow, if you ask me. The feeling of coming to grips with what I am. A man who played himself off as a monster to escape his own feelings. In many ways, I'm afraid I'm a coward, but I'm working to not be anymore. I've realized that there's a lot that I can do, a lot of things that I want to, and a lot of things that I will. It's just a matter of being with you that will make it happen, will give me a chance to let it be, because I realize that you saved me. Just like I might have saved you. A life of heroism in a world that capitalizes on it. What a fucking joke. And then a villain. Someone who always wanted to be the best hero. Someone who looked up to a hero. Someone who looked up to... No. Don't worry about my father. He has demons of his own to deal with. And who am I to go and point out his faults at this point? There'd be absolutely no point if I were to go after him. There'd be no point anymore. It used to be my life's goal. Revenge, getting even, hating on things. But then I realized I'm just as flesh and blood as anyone else, and what right do I have to decide how their life goes? And that's exactly what led me to the underground. That's exactly why I can't understand epidemic, and that's exactly why I won't let anyone, not my brother, not anyone else, I won't let anyone more get hurt because of this or because of me. I'm sick of allowing that. And I'm sick and tired of this world always resorting to violence. If I, of all people, someone who burns himself with his own rage, can let go of that, then certainly the rest can as well. I have to agree that things are complicated. I don't know who's right and who's wrong. But I'll learn, and I'll figure this out. No matter what may happen, I'll find a way to fix all this. So, for now, understand my plan is to not take a side, but to not let the two mutual sides who each have points ruin each other. I have a scheme. Nothing too big, grandiose, but I'll distract them, and I'll try and make them understand each other. Perhaps I can work as a sort of mediator before things get too bad. We don't have much time, but right now, what time we do have, I want to be with you. I'll have to go in a few hours, and you'll come with me. We'll work and see what we can do to stop this calamity that's going to face us if we don't stop it. I don't want to stare that calamity in the eyes. I want it to be only what it is, only a facade of things. I'd never want anyone to die because of this, but I fear if we don't do anything, especially Epidemic's life is in danger, because there's someone framing him. That's my theory, based upon the nonsense that happened last time, based upon the bombings, based upon everything. It wasn't done by me, but I was framed. Now it's his turn. That person is good. It's just they're so horrible about leaving breadcrumbs. Clearly they want to be noticed, otherwise they wouldn't. Who? I don't know. But something tells me it has something to do with Shigaraki. You see, Tomura, he's been through a lot, but that doesn't excuse his mistakes, his leftovers. Him and that mad doctor. They created a monster that day, one that they probably never knew was one until it was too late. You know, that's what I learned. That's how I learned I wasn't a true monster. True monsters make things even worse. True monsters ruin the world. I realized that for all my mistakes, I wasn't just that. I was a man who was faulted all the same, and maybe even that monster has reasons beyond my understanding, but I can't justify them, and they must answer for what they've done. They are not exempt from the obligations of taking responsibility and staring their victims in the face. They are the ones who caused the pain, and by doing so, must be there to tend to the wounds, even if you have to make them, even if you have to shove their fucking face in it. I don't have much love for that person, even if I can relate to them ever so slightly. The only thing I want you to take from all this is that I won't let them get their way.
I won't let whoever the mastermind is behind all this, behind the calamities, behind all of these misunderstandings dating back from the very start, I won't let any of them win. Because if I did, then you would be left all on your own. And I would be a pathetic excuse of a man, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk ill of myself. It's just sometimes, baby, it's so easy. Sometimes it's so easy to regress, to make things go back into that dark place, especially when talking about dark subjects. I don't want anyone to suffer. I don't want anyone to be sad. And I know I can't save everyone, but I can at least save some. I know my old comrades, when I was working with the League of Villains, must think it's ironic that I'm still kicking, and what's more, that I'm doing something completely opposite, completely arbitrary, not going towards anyone's side. I guess I was always like that, wasn't I? I always did my own thing, but now it's different. Now if I mess up, everything's on me. Feels different, alien almost. Not that I'm complaining, because it's the only way to make change is to put your neck out. And if that guillotine does come for it, you have to be willing to take that risk. That's what it means to fight for what you love. That's what it means to make something of your life, right? Maybe I have a really twisted view on things, but I want a life with you more than I want to be the hero that I never could be. I don't want to be the monster, of course. I don't want to be the broken man who only brings you problems. I want to be the solution, the guy who can make your dreams actually come true instead of just being this rhetorical question of what's next. What's the next thing to break him? What's the next thing to bring him down? What's the next monster to deal with? I want to be a man that's worth your time, and I know you think I already am, and that's fine. I'm honored that you do, but there are many things which I don't understand about myself, many things yet. I still have to learn, and even more that I have to finally face down the ghosts of my past. But you, baby, you make me feel so whole that I almost feel like the world outside just melts away when we're together. You make me feel like I'm less alone, and that means more than any words could ever convey. You've saved me time and time again from myself and others. You've stood by me when you saw the faults of the system and you realized this isn't just about right and wrong, it's about people's lives. That sometimes right and wrong gets simplified, oversimplified, made black and white, made into something it never was. A question of yes or no. That's not what morality is. That's not what lives are. We are not our choice of yes and no, even if it matters a great deal that we have it. Saying no should mean no and yes should mean yes, but that doesn't mean that every villain stays a villain and every hero stays a hero. And I think we're both the poetic epitome of that line. The figurative star-crossed lovers crossing boundaries that no one ever does. You know, it's hella romantic to the point where it's hard not to kiss you. Oops, baby. I guess after everything, all I wanted to say was that I love you and we'll make it through this. Convoluted way to say it, right? Maybe. Actions do speak louder. But even if they don't, I'll make sure you speak louder about what your heart truly desires, and that I speak more clearly with mine. Because the last thing I want, baby,
is for us to fade away into obscurity, making those distances greater instead of less. Nothing scares me more than losing you. Nothing. You've been the one thing keeping me from losing myself in this bitter world. And you've been the one thing I've always desired. The one thing I've always, in all this world, loved. And I want it to stay that way. I want to spoil you. I want to treat you. I want to make you mine all over again. I don't just want this to be a relationship, I want it to be a lifetime, baby. You can be my one and only, my baby. And I'll be your man through it all. I won't lose to anyone or anyone's dream. Because I know my desires for you. They're unquenched and unquestionable. How much I want you, baby. Yeah. Of course, baby. I want you on all levels you can imagine. Won't you be mine forever? Don't get too crazy, unless that's the whole point of this madden dance we do. Unless that's the whole point of us together. Baby. You're so tasty. Here. And here too. I bet you're even more tasty. And what's the matter with it? Can't handle a few kisses, huh? Come on, little mouse, don't be scared. I love you so much. You're easily the cutest in the whole wide world. I love you. You know, through everything. That's what I've wanted to convey more than anything. That true love is more than just a passionate kiss. True love is being there when it hurts. True love is not giving up on your love, even if the whole wide world hates you for it. And that's how I feel we are, baby. That's everything to me. That means the world, because I know neither of us would ever give up on the other, because we need each other just as much, baby. I want you, and I need you in my life. I want you to be mine forever, won't you? Yeah. And I'll be yours forever. Baby, never look at anyone else. Focus those pretty eyes on me. And don't think for a second I don't think you're the coolest, baddest baby in the whole wide world. 'Cause you are to me. You are definitely my baby. And I love you so fucking much for it. Just look at you, baby. Even cuter than the last moment.
Just what am I gonna do with you in the first place? You dummy. You're my sexy little mouse, and I love you so fucking much. It doesn't matter what it takes, what we have to go through. All I want is you. All I want in this goddamn life is more of you. And I know you know what that means. I know you know how much I want to hold you right now. How anytime, any place, anywhere, all I want is you. You'd never understand that if you didn't give me the chance you did. And I'm thankful for every chance I get. You know, it's kind of funny. I never thought I'd have these chances that I've gotten. I might be the luckiest son of a bitch in the world. To get someone like you in my life, I couldn't be more lucky, could I? I know I couldn't, because it's you. It's not just someone, it's not just a name behind a screen, it's you. My little mouse, my baby. The only one I want to spend forever with. You should know that by now. There's no one better in my heart, and there couldn't be even if I wanted there to be. Because you've infected me with that virus of caring, that virus of wanting to know how you feel no matter what, of wanting to hold you in my arms like this, forever and ever. I just want you to be safe and happy, and true to every desire you've ever had. I want you to feel every single feeling you could ever wish in your dreams. And maybe that makes me naive, thinking I could give you all of that. But I'll be damned if I don't try, baby. I'll be damned if I don't try everything in my power to make you truly feel loved. To give you a man who dotes on you every single day, and who won't go anywhere without you. Because you know what? Fuck it. Call me whatever you want. Make me whatever you want. In that mind of yours, but I'm still going to be the man of your dreams, or die trying. I don't like the alternative either. Why don't we rewrite that? Make no mistake, baby. I got no plans to go anywhere. I'd never let you go, no matter what you do, no matter what you say. There is nothing you could do to forego my love, to make me love you any less, because you can only make me love you more. You probably don't even realize it, do you? The profound effect you've had on my life, the way that you've made me feel. The happiness you've made me feel that I never thought I could. I'm fortunate. Way too fortunate. But that doesn't mean I'm going to look at it and say I don't deserve this anymore, no. There's no point in that. Not even one. Because the more time we waste stuck in the moment, the more time gets away from us, the more things get away from us, and the less time we'll have to spend with each other, and I don't like that shit. I don't like it one bit. I want all the time with you I could ever get. Look at that, me being greedy again. Well, it's good to know I'm not the only one who's greedy in this relationship, though. I mean, just look at you. You still want more time. Good thing I'm just the same. I couldn't bear to not have more time. After everything we've been through. That's what I want the most. Is to hold you in my arms and tell you it's gonna be okay. It's to make you feel safe and sound and happy and well. I couldn't ask for anything more in all my life. Because You've given me everything else I could possibly want. Look at you spoiling me. That's almost illegal. Except, don't stop, okay? If you ever do decide to stop, though, at least let me down easy. No plans for that, huh? Well, little mouse, and I guess you're stuck with me. I guess you'll be my baby forever, and I'll be yours. How's that sound? I'm glad it sounds as good to you as it does to me. Because I could really go with some forever right now.